Good evening and welcome to Wellness Works Group webinar series. My name is Jacqueline Russo. I'm a nurse and a dentist from Boca Raton, Florida. Tonight we'll be discussing a revolutionary scientific breakthrough called ageLOC. What is ageLOC and what's the big deal about ageLOC? Well, let's start by learning what it's not. It's not a product, nor is it an ingredient. Instead, it's a scientific platform, a technology that allows scientists to search through our gene pool of over 20,000 genes and identify those genes or group of genes that are responsible for symptoms of aging. This discovery is as groundbreaking science as stem cell research, and it will forever change the way we age. Why is there so much attention to gene research these days? Well, let's look at that. We now know that our DNA is not our destiny. In fact, recent advances in epigenetics, which is the science of influencing how genes express, have led us to the conclusion that many of the daily choices we make about diet and lifestyle can change our genes and those of our children. Much of the interest in this area came from identical twin studies. Two people with identical DNA, just like in this example, but you can see the difference in gene expression by looking at the changes in the skin. These clearly visible differences are in response to lifestyle choices like nutrition, sun exposure, etc. Our scientists are looking to influence the expression of these genes and youth gene clusters back towards youthful patterns in effort to prevent or reverse aging on many fronts. New Skin was founded on scientific principle and now has a team of over 75 in-house PhD level scientists. They demonstrate their commitment to research and development by collaborating with various leading research institutions. These collaborative relationships help to develop an enhanced understanding of the genetic basis for aging. Then we bring in the New Skin Scientific Advisory Board, which brings together the best minds in research in the areas of skincare, nutrition, and genomics. This is robust and a prestigious group of scientists. 2 years ago, New Skin purchased LifeGen Technologies, this country's most prestigious genetic research and development company out of Madison, Wisconsin. This partnership catapulted New Skin Enterprises' anti-aging research center by providing more than 30 years of research surrounding the genetic basis of aging. Ownership of LifeGen's pioneering research gave the scientists the ability to develop innovative proprietary products with a product span long into the future. Now, let's understand that competitors in the skincare and nutrition industry have forever been addressing only the signs and symptoms of aging once aging has occurred, such as an aging appearance on our skin or some symptom of reduced wellness. New Skin's anti-aging science targets the sources of aging, our genes. Product development is focused on prevention of aging by resetting gene expression back to youthful levels. It's a unique paradigm shift in the anti-aging arena, and this area of focus offers as much promise to how well we will age in the future as stem cell research. Here you're looking at the first step in this innovative anti-aging approach, which is to identify the clusters of genes, youth gene clusters, that are linked to aging, because it's never just about one gene. Now, the scientists do this through state-of-the-art gene chip technology, and you're looking at a gene chip on the screen. Each of the tiny dots you see here represents the gene expression activity of approximately 20,000 genes in the human genome. In some applications, the chip contains triplicates for each gene, giving the researchers the results of more than 60,000 chemical or enzymatic reactions, each of which could take hours of one technician's time to perform. So that's either 60,000 technicians working for hours or one technician working nonstop for 27 years for information on just one experimental condition. The gene chip allows our scientists to do what was not even comprehensible 10 years ago. Now, here's a closer look at the gene chip. Each square is a reaction chamber. Some of the squares are dark, some brighter, some are red. The brighter and redder squares indicate that the gene represented in that square is more active. So the key is to use the gene activity to identify those genes that may affect aging. When you're born, genes express themselves in youthful patterns. They work in harmony. But aging and years of interacting with the environment cause some genes to speed up and some genes to slow down in their expression. Every cell in our body is affected, which creates a myriad of aging symptoms. Here's an example. When you were young and sprained your ankle playing sports, you healed quite nicely in just a day or so. But in your 50s, that same injury could sideline you for weeks or even longer. And that's because our tissue repair genes are downregulated and our tissue damaging genes are on full alert. The goal is to identify youthful gene expression patterns and reset the old genes to mimic that behavior. I hope I'm making that clear. So, this is what ageLOC does it resets the activity of our cells to a youthful state, much like an equalizer does to enhance beautiful music. We then have our genes functioning in a way similar to what they did in our youth. And the result is more youthful looking skin, better energy production in our cells, efficient fat burning, and a slowing of the aging process. We do nothing to change the genes, we only enhance their expression. Now let's take a look at some of the ageLOC products in a very abbreviated version. This is not product training. If you want more detailed information on these products, please see our ageLOC product review. This was the very first product to contain the ageLOC technology, and it was called our Galvanic Spa. It was released in 2009. The proprietary ageLOC gels were delivered using the facial spa and the galvanic current to improve penetration of the products into the dermis, thereby improving results. The ageLOC facial gels slow the aging process by shutting off one of the major sources of skin aging, the areNOx enzyme produced on the surface of the skin cells. This graph shows what happens in the body when ageLOC gel is applied. The free radical generating enzyme is completely flatlined, meaning that a major contributor of skin aging is stopped in its track for the next 84 hours, virtually stopping or at least slowing the aging process for the next 3 days. So you just reapply every 3 days, right? And this product development was just the beginning. The next product developed with ageLOC technology was a skincare line called Transformation. The scientists started with skincare because it was easy to observe changes. This product targets 132 genes that dictate skin health and youthfulness. In figure 1, you can see that the column on the left is that of the control or an older set of 132 genes. And you can see by the legend at the bottom that there's not a lot of gene activity happening in most of these aging genes. The column on the right shows the reset genetic activity of those genes that control skin aging. The goal is to upregulate the genes that produce collagen, produce elastin. We want to increase cell turnover, but we want to downregulate things like melanin production and collagen degradation. You see a much different genetic pattern after ageLOC has been applied. And what we see clinically is an improvement in 100% of participants in skin tone, texture, quality, and reduction of fine lines and wrinkles and hyperpigmentation after 8 weeks of use. This was a huge product launch for us in 2010, and the positive results paved the way for the next generation of ageLOC product development. One of the most common complaints as we age, besides wrinkling and sagging skin, is the loss of energy, maybe memory, and libido. The very first internal product developed by Nu Skin targeted genes responsible for mitochondrial health and cell purification. Now, as we age, our mitochondria become less effective at producing cellular energy, or ATP, which translates into a loss of stamina and mental cognition. We feel less vital. And at the same time, our cells are not able to detoxify, and that leads to a buildup of pollutants that further reduce the function of the cell, all which lead to further decline in performance, a totally vicious cycle. Here you see two subsets of heat maps. The left column is a youthful gene expression heat map for mitochondrial health or cellular energy production, and the lower box is cell purification. On the right is the same set of genes from an older participant. Notice that they look completely opposite, very, very different. Once R squared is applied, the old gene expression pattern changes to look more like youthful expression. In fact, 92% of the genes have youthful expression. And what's the clinical result? Well, our clinical trials show a 63% improvement in physical performance and a 20% increase in mental cognition, as well as self-reported improvement of sexual libido. This is an incredible product. It's one of my favorite products because you actually feel the difference when you take this product. Now, the most recent product development involves weight management, and from the looks of things in this country, it is just in the nick of time. TR90 was our biggest product launch to date. It was nearly a $1 billion global launch this past year. This revolutionary body shaping system leverages gene expression, and it is, let me say this loud and proud, it is not a diet. Instead, it is a safe and effective way to reshape the body by losing fat. We know that as we age, it's harder to lose weight, and our genes are partially responsible because, again, as we age, our body's ability to burn fat diminishes due to our genes' exposure to all the toxins and environment, and all, they've been assaulted by the toxic foods and things that we put inside of our body. And so we're not as efficient at burning fat. Everything we eat is stored, not burned. What TR90 does is reset the genes that dictate fat storage or fat burning back to youthful levels. Remember when we were young and we could eat anything? So we can become more efficient at burning those calories like we were when we were young. We become fat burning machines. And the result is fat loss, not weight loss. And that is a critical consideration because most diets cause loss of both fat and lean muscle mass, which results in a lower metabolic rate, literally damaging our body's engine. Now, the results are massive reductions in waist circumference while maintaining a healthy body mass, which allows us a more sustainable, healthy body shape. So, what you're looking at is the heat map of a lean and a control group, specifically those genes that determine whether to burn or store the calories coming into our bodies. And you can see that their expression patterns, again, are completely opposite prior to ageLOC. But once again, ageLOC reset the heat map after using TR90 for 90 days, and now it closely resembles the lean control. Resetting these genes is as important as in protecting our lean muscle mass during weight loss, and it is imperative for long-term success. Now, part of reshaping our body is physical, but everybody who's ever tried to lose weight knows that it's usually accompanied by some mental suffering, right? Cravings, mood swings, headaches. Many times, those are the reasons that we give up. But TR90 addresses and resets the genes controlling appetite and satiety, cravings, and overall feelings of well being, which leads to tremendous, tremendous long term success for our participants. ageLOC is and will continue to change the way we age. The technology has strong intellectual property protection, so no one else can compete in this space. The science is published all over the most prestigious journals, and our scientists present at conferences all over the world. Many of our scientists have been recognized internationally for these advances in the genetics of aging. ageLOC is not only a big deal, it's the real deal. So, in summary, it's important to understand that ageLOC is not a product or an ingredient. It's a scientific platform exclusive to Nu Skin Enterprises that gives our scientists a huge advantage in the anti aging industry, especially in the arena of product development. Our research can be measured in minutes to hours versus our competitors who have to perform lengthy clinical trials that take months. It is this edge that continues to drive product development and will create millions of loyal customers, meaning a huge business opportunity for those who join us. We hope you'll consider joining our mission to make the world a healthier and better looking place to live. If you're interested in more detailed information about ageLOC, this is an excellent book written by Dr. Joe Chang, our Chief Scientific Officer. He does an incredible job of telling the ageLOC story. It's called The Aging Myth, and you can find it on Amazon or in iBooks. We hope you will take the time to continue your journey of understanding ageLOC. It will change the way you age. Be well, and let's help others be well also. Thank you for your time tonight.